In the last few days, there's been a lot of different news surrounding Barcelona, and in my eyes, none of them was actually kind of worthy of doing a complete video on. But nevertheless, guys, you want to hear my opinion on them, but since, once again, like I said, I don't think any of them is actually kind of valuable, or actually there's too much meat to it, I'm gonna do a kind of roundup about everything you need to know about Barcelona for this week. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And once again, it's great having you guys for yet another video. And if you haven't done so already, I encourage you to click the subscribe button down below, because I know you're gonna enjoy the videos that we put up on this channel. And I would also encourage you to leave us a like if you enjoy, and also give us a dislike if you didn't. And tell me in the comment box down below what would you like to improve, certainly for future videos. So now let's start off with the very first piece of news. And apparently, according to TV3 in Spain, a radio station, it seems that Ivan Rakitic might be selling his house and also putting his children in a French school. I think this can help us answer some questions, and more particularly can help us see what is the real reason why Rakitic has been starting every single minute for Barcelona. So if we take kind of like a time travel back into the winter transfer window of before the start of this term, it seemed that Rakitic was going to go to PSG, and it's something that it's like open up for everybody. It's public knowledge, this, because Rakitic said it on kind of like a press conference, and then it was also revealed by Pep Segura, it was also revealed by Valverde that this was a real chance, but Valverde didn't want him to let him go. Which in my eyes is actually not that bad, because they were gonna play his entire 125 million euro release clause. So if we take that into account, I feel that Barcelona has been planning, or know that PSG want to come back this winter transfer window for Rakitic. I feel that PSG want to get him once again into their side. Thomas Tuchel, in my eyes, want him very, very bad, because he will fit very good into his system. And what will happen here with Barcelona is that they don't want Rakitic to be undervalued. They don't want Rakitic to lose that stature, and therefore Rakitic also doesn't want to lose his like quality as a player. So they have been kind of like not exactly putting pen on paper, but you know what it means. Like, if you know what I want and you know what I want, and then we all both win if we just do it, why not just start every single game? That could be kind of like something to think about. You know, that for instance Barcelona is playing Rakitic to don't kind of like lower his price, because we know that if you put a player on the bench, his value is just going to decrease hugely, and Rakitic doesn't want that because he wants to play, and therefore Barcelona doesn't want that because his value is going to come down. So this could be something to think about, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comment box down below. This next news story will probably make it the last ever video I will talk about Ousmane Dembele, because for me this is actually the turning point. Ousmane Dembele has openly apologized to his teammates for his obviously bad behavior, and has been fined by the club 200,000 euros. 200,000. That's so much for a behavior kind of like fine. That's really a lot of money. And I say this is a turning point not because of the money fine, that really he can pay that easily, but for me, in my eyes, is that he openly apologized for Dembele. I'm gonna stick to that, because we know that according to Sport, according to Alenya as well, Dembele called his Barcelona teammates together before Monday's training prior to the Champions League duel with Tottenham. During a short and respectful speech, Dembele reportedly said, "Sorry, and promise that this will not happen again." For me, this is very important. He arrived early to training that day, he openly apologized, and he addressed the whole dressing room. How many people, even you watching, could have the bravery to do something like that? You know, it takes a really strong man, not a kid, not a youngster, a man. In this case, Ousmane Dembele has actually acted like an honest human being. He has acknowledged his mistakes, and that takes a lot of courage and bravery. Not too many people can do that. I know that in some cases I wouldn't be able to do that. Some of you watching could have not been able to do that. That takes a lot of personality to do, and I feel that this actually sees what I wanted to see from Dembele all along. I wanted Dembele to grow. I wanted Dembele to progress as a human being. I wanted Dembele to become a better human. I wanted his attitude to improve. And this is a very good sign of that. It takes an actual courage, bravery. It's really hard to acknowledge when you're wrong, and Dembele has openly done that. And not even to like his friends, to his family. He has done it to probably the hardest thing ever in your job. Imagine you working in the best company in the world, and you have to openly apologize to your boss and your other co-workers. Well, Dembele has been doing this exactly, and more importantly, he has done it to the best probably kind of like co-workers you could have. He has done it in front of people like Busquets, multiple Champions League winners, World Cup winners like Gerard Piqué, and the same with people like Lionel Messi and also Luis Suarez. So that's a very big thing Dembele has done, and I completely salute this effort, and certainly I feel this will be the last we will ever hear about this situation. Moving on, we're going to talk about Rivaldo saying that Isco would be excellent at Barcelona. Well, I do agree that Rivaldo, but I don't want Isco at all. We know Isco has been saying a lot of different stupid things in the media, and I don't value him as a player at all. His attitude is completely the opposite. Like, if we just talk about good attitude with Dembele, Isco has completely the opposite. He's even worse than anything Dembele could ever do. How in the world can Isco go up to the crowd of the Bernabeu and be like, what do you want? What do you want? ¿Qué queréis? ¿Qué queréis? No, that's just stupid. I don't want anybody like Isco touching near a Barcelona camp. No way in hell. Not because he's a Real Madrid player, because in all actually he will be a good player for us, just because of that horrible attitude. Isco feels he's like the best player in the world. You can see him in his press conference with Spain like shouting at that reporter during the World Cup. Nah, I don't want Isco at all. He's a complete brat, and he needs to start acting like an actual football player, because he has won the Champions League, yeah, but you have won it because of Cristiano Ronaldo, and that's it. You have not even been that important in the matches you have played. You have played 2 finals, but how influential were you really? And then you're not the star. There's a reason why Solari, there's a reason why Zidane, there's a reason why Lopetegui didn't start you as much, and you gotta work on yourself, Isco. There's no way in hell you're gonna be playing at Real Madrid like this. And I feel actually his time at the Bernabeu is out. I think Isco has already signed out his kind of like contract to go to another club. And what's up with so many Real Madrid players being linked with Barcelona? Now the player is Alvaro Morata, because according to Jordi Alba and well other kind of like Spanish news outlets, he has been offered to Barcelona, and like Jordi Alba, like I said, he has openly opened his arm to allow Alvaro Morata to join the club. In all honesty, Morata is not a bad player. He's a really good striker, and he would actually be once again a very good fit for Barcelona like Isco. But once again, like I said, I do not want him, not because of his allegiance to Real Madrid, but more importantly because what he can give as an attitude. Like, Alvaro Morata is a player that has like kind of really low confidence, and we can see how in Chelsea, for instance, he could score like 10 goals in a row and then just score 2 for the remaining of the season. That's something that it's not acceptable at Barcelona, and I could see this going very, very wrong, like a case of Andre Gomez, especially if we take into account that he has that Real Madrid pass. My god, the fans are gonna kind of like be, or you play good or you get out the door. That's what they're gonna say, and I feel that this is no way, shape or form a good move for Barcelona. But yet, like Jordi Alba has said, the final decision, it is of the club, and in all honesty, like, I don't see the club signing Morata. Really, he's a good striker. He could be one day a level of a striker for Barcelona or Real Madrid, but right now, look at his stats. 7 goals in 21 games for Chelsea, and then 15 in 48 last season. Nah, that's not good enough. And the last piece of news is actually of a player that I would actually like to have at Barcelona, and that is Frenkie de Jong, which after the game between Ajax and Bayern Munich, which ended up in a draw 3-3, which if you haven't watched, what are you doing with your life? That was an absolute Champions League classic that you need to watch right now. And after that game, De Jong said that he has not yet decided on his future. And I think that Ajax already knows that those 2 players are going to leave, and therefore they need to start thinking about negotiations and deals they can arrange before the winter transfer window at the end of this season, because they want to get obviously the best deal possible. And it seemed that De Jong had already kind of had a deal in place with PSG, but at the end of the day, I know that his father said openly to the public, like you can read this up, that he has said that he would like his son, De Jong, to move to Barcelona because that's where he feels he will complete his potential. And that is something that certainly had a little bit of an influence on De Jong, because as we can see after the game, he said that he still had to make his decision. So I feel this could be something here for the young, because obviously your parents, your mom, your dad can have a say on what you think is better for you, and I think that his dad is not wrong. I'm not saying it because it's Barcelona. Like, even if the young moved to like a club like Manchester City, it would be way better than PSG. PSG right now are in a situation where you cannot really develop players. They can reach a level, but certainly they cannot fulfill his potential. Like, for instance, Verratti moving from Pescara to PSG was such a good move for them. But now Verratti is an amazing midfielder, but he still has a long way to go. You know, Verratti could be outstanding. He could be top 5 midfielders in the world, but right now he's not even like around the 30th position in my eyes, because there's need a lot of improvement that he needs to make, because just of the sheer quality of competition that is in that league. So I feel that De Jong now is rethinking where he wants to go, and certainly I would say that for Ajax, in their eyes, a move to Barcelona will not be that bad, because if Barcelona kind of creates a double deal for the league and De Jong, which is what I want to see and what I would recommend the club of doing, it's just great news for everybody, and they could demand a lot of money there, and Barcelona really doesn't look too bad when doing that double deal. For instance, if you buy De Jong and the league for 200 million euros, I don't think that's a bad deal. I don't really think that's a bad deal. I think there are players that are gonna be here for the club and for probably football for the rest of like, what, 2 decades? They are going to be the best of the best. That's gonna be everything for today, guys. Once again, if you have enjoyed this video, be sure to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe down below. Remember to follow us on all other social media to keep up to date, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.